Hi guys, today I have a game for you in my Tier 7 Premium US Battleship, the California. Now this ship has a reputation of just being bad. And I've always said it's not the ship, it's the player. Yes, this ship has more weaknesses than strengths. Doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. This thing turns fairly well, like really good. Like Colorado level is good. The low tier U.S. Dreadnought, a lot of people get surprised about how well these things can turn. But the reason a lot of people don't like this ship is because everything at tier 7 can, pretty much screw you over. It's big, it's slow, it doesn't get anywhere fast, and it has 14-inch shells. So when you get into tier 8s, which is probably going to be common, and your tier 9s, usually you're just going to get dunked on. But I went into this game with the mindset of, I'm just going to do what I can. You can still angle. It's still going to help, guys, because you're giving the enemy a smaller target, and hopefully they are going to hit the side and just bounce off. But there's a good chance they're just going to go right through your nose also. The other thing is, if anybody watches at the replay theater, this is a game I sent him. So a lot of the settlements that I said there are going to be echoed here. With one thing, somebody brought up in his chat, ships have reputations. You can use reputations of the ship to your advantage or to your disadvantage. Now, I completely whiff on this shot because Nuremberg was smart, and I instantly reported this guy for not exploding for being spotted. Joking. But the other thing is, there's a NATO div in this game. So I sit there and paid attention to them. Now, the other thing you may notice is I'm running at a higher frame rate. I used to run Matchmake Monitor for that, but of course, when it updates, I have no idea where I installed it. You gotta completely rip it out in order for it to do it, so somebody told me where to go into my files to bump up my frames. And that is the extent of my modding, per se. Well, I can hold more replays now, but that has nothing to do with the gameplay. But my game plan is to try to hold the 2-3 line. Now, game modes can also be advantage, disadvantage. This ship ain't getting anywhere fast. You see I'm doing a whole 21.6 knots. It's slow. I want to kill the shores because I can't stand the ship, either when I'm playing it or being played against. It's just one of those ships that frustrates me, along with the EU destroyers right now. So if I may come off as a bad mood, because I've been trying to do campaign stuff and directives, and some of them are EU DDs, and while the teams weren't the best. Now, I don't use Matchmake Monitor for I want to see how bad people are. As in fact, what I just recently went and did, because somebody brought it up, was complaining, I actually went and put my stats to hidden. Because I am so against the toxicity that Matchmaking Monitor brings to this game. Do not want this game to turn into World of Warships. And I strongly advise everybody to go to World of Warships website. Go to your player stats. And put your stats to private. You should know if you're getting good or not. If you're using stats to improve yourself, fine. But if everybody starts putting them private, guess what? Match Monitor is absolutely pointless at this point. I've always said, if you can't tell if a player is good or not by the way they're playing their ship, you're a bad player. Now, I don't exactly want to push in with this ship, but what I was trying to say is game modes can be used as an advantage, as I'm always going to shoot at a DD if I can. Oh, sniffle. Sorry, guys. It's standard battle. I'm as far south as I realistically have to or should go at the start in the mid of the game. Either one, let the enemy push into us, or I turn around and defend the cap while our faster ships make their way to the enemy cap. We have the ship disadvantage. So what does that mean? Being down 3 ships to their none means we're going to have to play way more defensive. I've already noticed that the NATO div has started falling back. I was going to take shots in on the German battleship, but I don't want to completely give up this flank per se. I have a Myoko and an Odin with us and a Amplify. I probably said it wrong. You know, he's turning back to support. The Massachusetts Z-23 are going back to deal with that push, but I am definitely getting in a position to where I need to start falling back to our cap. And the reason I said I'm at the start, I'm paying attention to what those guys are going to do in their positionings, because they're better at positioning than I am. I just, as Static says, have a horseshoe up my ass, the size of a horse. But, I mean, if we look at the other side of the map, there's a DD, a Grass Bay, Domains, a Byron, a Miko, a Massachusetts, or Mako, whatever. The Ganais now, against our Bismarck, York, and Byron. Those aren't good odds for those 3 guys, especially considering we're already down 3 ships. Now, hopefully, this is the shot that just outright deletes this guy. I'll live with the Citadel, thank the Lord. To maybe get this guy to push back. Unfortunately, I still wanted him to stay broadside, but of course, when you Citadel a ship, they become a little bit more conscious of stuff and things coming in at them because they're lower health. Now, I was looking at the guys because, well, he's pushing on the cap. He's going to show broadside. You know, he's already got 5 ships shooting at him, so what's 6? You know, but I am holding my shots for things that are broadside, because these are 15-inch shells, and they're not going to overmatch 80% of the cruisers I'm going to face. These are realistically tier 4 guns at tier 7. So you have to be very selective on your ammo choice, and when you shoot, and who you shoot. Sorry for the cough. And what you're doing. Like I told Zath, you know, should people run out and get this ship? You know what? If you like the Colorado, yeah, if you're learning the game, this ship can teach you. This ship is going to teach you positioning, ammo choice, and shot selection. Because just because anything that comes bow onto you, you're not going to do a lot too. When it goes broadside, hey, guess what, guys? 203s do a lot of damage to things, and those are way smaller than these 356. So you have to pay attention to things that are broadside. Now, of course, I want to shoot the DD. He's going to turn out, and I probably didn't aim high enough because, well, for some reason I have the nasty habit of always aiming waterline, and of course those fell short. And this is what I mean by the ship is slow. I still held our side, but the enemy has kind of pushed over to, they're all on the 6 side of everything, and we're all on the 5 side. So nobody's really going to get any cross shots in. CDDD, and I'm like, should I shoot him or should I shoot the mass? And really what goes through my mind is, I'm not going to hit a speeding DD. I'm going to hit the Massachusetts. And the reason I chose the Massachusetts, it's tier 8, I'm tier 7. It's going to be a little bit more experience. The other thing is he's broadside. It's 6K. Awesome. That's 6K worth of pence to this gentleman. But if you've noticed, I'm sitting at 56,000 potential damage. Like, people are just writing me off because, oh, he's in a California. The ship's bad. We're pushing through these guys, and we're taking them all out. So we'll just save the California for last. Hey, if it's that easy to get rid of it, guys, why don't you take it out first? Because guess what? If you were to take me out, that's 29,000 damage that I've done. I haven't done anything significant. But why did I shoot the mains over the Grass Bay or the Byron that were coming in, Amy? Because it's a tier 8. I'm thinking about, I want experience. Experience is going to get me, well, more captain experience. And it's also going to give me more credits because credits go off your experience. But of course, you know, we've got to shoot this DD. We only have one left, which means we need to protect ours at nearly all costs. Now, luckily, it is the NATO gentleman in the DD. Unfortunately, the Massachusetts gentleman got brushed by a destroyer and died. And guess what? 14-inch shells against destroyers doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's 14, 18, 18 and 0.1, 23-inch, 50-inch. All battleship AP is guaranteed overpens, which is over 1,000. So 2 or 3 shells, you're looking at, you know, anywhere from 2 to 4,000 damage done to a destroyer. And I say that because it's never clearly 1,000. Now I see the cruiser going broadside, and I'm like, well, do I shoot him or the Grass Speed? And well, the Grass Speed went behind an island. The guns were going to get reloaded, and why don't I just whack this Mayuka? And this is what I mean. These are tier 4 guns at tier 7 against a tier 7 ship getting citadels. And look, I went from 23,000 damage to 55,000 damage. I've now put that poor cruiser on extremely low health. And guess what? I'm still alive. But hey, why do we need to shoot at a California? It's a bad ship. And a hundred times say it, it's not the ship, it's the player. Look at all those shells in on that gate. Oh, look, another 5,000 damage off him. That salvo put the fight between the two DDs on absolutely even playing ground, and it really isn't, because it's a 2v1, and the Z, and RZ, I believe, is a better player than that other gentleman. That salvo right there won the DD fight. 14-inch shells. Now, of course, I want to shoot this guy because I'm thinking experience. I mean, realistically, this is what I'm thinking. I want more experience. I want that experience once. If I'm going to have to choose between targets, I'm going to choose what's best for me. It's also a good thing to get rid of because he's probably got the special captain in it. Ooh, sorry for that. So, you know what? Might as well deal with them. And what I mean by deal with them, completely with my shots, because islands are OP and need to be nerfed. Or unless it's saving me, then they're perfectly fine. But the other thing is, why do I want to shoot that guy's broadside to me? Oh, look, the Mayuka. And the reason I turn my guns is somebody asked for it, is I hit the wrong button. Now, I should have aimed up a little bit higher than what I did. I aimed waterline. The guy's immediately turning out, which is the right call. So these are going to just do nothing. Torpedo protection hit. And that's what I mean by, you know, overmatch ships. The guy literally turned. My shells came down. Now, while it was still on an angle when the shells came down, so they immediately just bounced off. Because I didn't aim high enough, but, you know, cruisers can still bounce your shells, so you've got to be aware of that with these low-health shells. Now, I do believe I aimed up a little bit higher this time, knowing that the guy, turns out, is the Bismarck, says, screw you, California, if you can't get the job done, I'll do it for you. Now, who do I want to shoot? A Massachusetts that's bow into me or a broadside? Byron. I'm going to shoot the Byron. Now, the Massachusetts is more experience, but I'm going to get more damage by shooting this gentleman. The other thing is, he's rushing our Bismarck. So if I save this guy, I may save our Bismarck, which means the Massachusetts is more likely, hopefully, to deal with our Bismarck because he's low health, than to deal with me.
Enemy battleship
almost a 10k salvo. Let's just call it 9, guys. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hold my shot, because if you notice what this guy did, see, is the Bismarck shot. This guy turned in. I shot, the guy went broadside to me. This guy's trying to angle up against 2 ships. So I am holding my shots knowing that this guy is going to turn into the Bismarck. Realistically, what he's probably trying to do is get all his guns to bear instead of realizing I don't have to. Or he doesn't necessarily have to. 17,000 damage, guys, with tier 4 guns at tier 7. I'm stressing this so much. Why? Because California is so bad. That's why it's in the title. Bad my ass. It's the player, not the ship. If the Massachusetts was smart, he would have just stayed bow into the Bismarck until I shot and just absolutely wrecked him. Now look, he's trying to angle up against me. This is why I think he's actually trying to get all of his guns to bear while angled. But I'm just going to hold my shot. Going to hold it. Going to hold it. And as soon as I finish this, guys, game is going to be over. Now, I hope you did enjoy this replay. I do hope you take something away from this. And remember, guys, sometimes a ship has a lot of weaknesses, but it still has some strengths. They may be difficult to find. This ship might not suit you. I know this ship isn't for everybody. I love playing battleships. I hate the Colorado. Yet I have a California. Don't ask questions because I can't answer them. But you guys got to remember, if you're in a ship that has a reputation for being bad, you're going to have to play a lot smarter and try actually a lot harder. But I hope you guys did learn something. I did hope you enjoyed this replay. Please remember to compliment good team play, good teamwork. We are quick to report, slow to compliment. Please hit that like and subscribe button and have yourselves one heck of a great day.